Hello, everyone, and welcome to my review of Chainsaw Man Chapter 80. Sorry about any potential background noise. They're doing power washing outside my house, so if you hear anything weird, that's what it is. So, this chapter is very interesting. I would say it's probably most similar to Chapter 39, which was when Denji and Makima went to go see the movies. And that's mostly due to the fact that this is another chapter where Makima is bonding with Denji and also pretending to be a human. So Denji is traumatized by the fact that he killed Aki. I mean, the whole first 2 pages are talking about him in power using the money that Aki left for them to buy a bunch of shit, and it's all very clearly cope stuff. They're not actually very happy. He talks about pigging out on food and buying video games and stuff like that. But then when he's eating ice cream or something, he thinks about how he killed Aki and he throws up. So he's traumatized. And conveniently, Makima shows up, and she tells him to come back to her place and calls him a good boy and stuff. We're going to get into a lot of the treating Denji like a dog stuff, which was a little more prominent earlier on. I know they brought it up again when Denji was fighting Santa Claus. But this chapter is pretty heavy on the dog stuff, especially considering they go back to Makima's place and she has 8 huskies. And that panel where all the huskies come in is just terrifying with their huge eyes and stuff. So Denji gets this experience of getting tea or whatever and hanging out with Makima's dogs and sees Makima treating them nice. And she's doing that thing where you pretend to talk for your pets or whatever. It's very weird seeing Makima do that stuff. This is the most different that she's acted throughout the entirety of the series, but Makima always has those moments of acting very different, like when she cried watching the movie. Actually, that's really the only one I can remember. Makima's usually pretty stoic and scary. And at the end of the chapter, Makima asks him, "Hey, what is your request? What do you want?" Because if you recall, back, I think it was in chapter 13 when they introduced the Gun Devil, Makima said, "If you kill the Gun Devil, I'll grant you any request you want." Now, as we've all probably been assuming for the last 67 chapters, he wants to fuck Makima. We all know this. Denji would very much like to fuck Makima. But at the end of this chapter, he says that he wants to be her dog. He wants to be treated like one of her dogs, which was kind of what he was going for already, acting like her dog. But at this point, it seems like Denji doesn't really want to be treated well, or doesn't want to be treated like a person or something. I'm not entirely sure what he means by it. It's probably something like he wants to wait on Makima hand and foot or something. He wants to be her personal, right-hand guy servant or whatever. And that's all very clearly based in his guilt that he has over killing Aki. Now, we haven't seen Power's reaction to Aki's death yet. At least not in full. We see her a little bit at the start of the chapter. I hope we get to see some of that soon. I know since Denji's the main character, we've seen a lot of the emotional development for him, and not as much for Power. We got quite a lot with right after the International Assassin's arc, with her being traumatized by the Darkness Devil. But she's never lost a close friend before, so I hope we get to see her reaction to it. But with Denji saying that he wants to be treated like Makima's dog, you have to wonder, what's that going to lead into? And if I have to guess, that would probably somehow lead into Denji being put in basically Makima's personal, like... I'm trying to say that he's going to get put in, like, the hybrid squad, alright? I'm under the personal belief that Makima is collecting the hybrids for her own use to be, like, this special unit. I know they've talked about, like, the First Division, which I'm pretty sure is where Kishibe is from. And the First Division is, like... In any series, the First Division is always, like, the hottest shit out there. But a lot of times there's also, like, a Zero Division, which is, like, the super special guys that no one else knows about or no one else gets to see. And that's probably going to be what Makima is doing with the hybrids. So hopefully, if that is what's happening, we're going to get to see Reze and Guanji and the Katana Devil again. And hopefully we get to see Denji break out of Makima's emotional manipulation, because if it wasn't clear to you, Makima is very clearly emotionally manipulating Denji. I don't believe any of her, like, humanizing emotional stuff. These dogs are very clearly here for the purpose of manipulating Denji. That's everything she's been doing. She's been manipulating him throughout the entire series. You can see her doing it. With all of the, like, lovey-dovey stuff. Like, she knows that Denji likes her, and she's using that to get Denji to do whatever she wants. Now, what exactly does Makima want with Denji? We don't know. We know that Makima's the control devil, but we don't know what exactly her endgame goal is, if she has one. I assume she does, because I don't think she would manipulate Denji for nothing. We know that the Chainsaw Devil is extremely important, and I'm sure her wanting to control Denji has something to do with the Chainsaw Devil. But I guess we'll have to wait and find out exactly what she's up to. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I do Chainsaw Man videos every week. If you enjoy discussing Chainsaw Man with other people, I'd suggest checking out my Discord server. I'll have a link to that in the description below. If you enjoy other series such as Record of Ragnarok, Jujutsu Kaisen, Kengan Omega, and Bleach, I do those series on my channel as well, and you can also discuss them on my Discord server. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.